Good morning, we're back. It's around 6:30 a.m. So I want to keep working on this thing. And right off the bat, this thing, we're doing file selection screen. Should be more descriptive. So right away I can tell that we're not grabbing focus for some reason on that top menu. So I need to find out why we're not doing that. So we have files, which is right there. It's these. Let me see again. So we're just not moving the cursor, and that's because forgot to call the parent function on this, which automatically handles the cursor movement. See? So we have that. And that's an important note. Remember that when we're using this full screen GUI, that anytime we are overriding that button focus, we need to call the original as we use that. So, right, before I proceed any further with this, I need to get saving and loading in place. And for that, I'm going to take a look at an older project. I think the last project I had that had saving and loading was probably Untitled Nature Game. And so let's see how I handled that. It's probably in utility and data. I think that's how I handled it before. It's not in my auto loads. So maybe not utility. Let's see. Data manager. So I'm just going to copy this and we'll modify that. So I think in our data class, we're going to make the save and load functions because that's kind of where we hold all of our data. Let's see what we have here. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Jeez. We're gonna revamp this. So we don't need all of that. Maybe no. Let's make a different data class here. And what we would call it, like file manager. Let's see, does that already exist? We call it save load. File manager save load. Save load is more specific because it deals with save data. So let's make that. And I'm probably going to put that in my utility class or utility folder. New script, we're going to spell save load. And I think, yeah, it can be a node for now. You want to open that. And for now, I'm just going to paste in that code I copied. We're going to be rewriting a lot of this, and I need to be mindful of the fact that, you know, I'm trying to teach you how this stuff works, so a lot of times just pasting in code doesn't help. But so I'm going to say at this point, don't worry about copying anything right now. Just kind of follow along. And what's the best way for you to approach this? How about, yeah, let me work through this, and at the end, I'll walk through the code. We'll do a recap, and you'll be able to copy the code, you know, pausing the frame and doing all of that. And you can see I'd already commented a link to saving games, so you can check that out for further reading. If you just search Godot saving games 3.6, that should come up. That's what I based the save and load on. But this code's probably a bit of a mess. I mean, this was an earlier project, and I might want to look into this link again. Because I think they had a different way. Yeah, they make persistent objects, and then those persistent objects send up the data when we call it. So I'm going to take a look at this. We're probably going to have a bit of a more relaxed stream. Or not stream, but, you know, video. I'm still waking up. That's kind of what I was doing. I had that dictionary, and then we store that, and then we would access that for all the data when we load it. I'm not going to go over this because I'll do that later, because that's pretty much what I have in a modified version. Load. But I do want to look at the persist. Persistent node. So, okay. So each line is the node's save data. So this will be in each node, each persist node, this stuff. And we're sending back that dictionary when we call save game from the save load class. Now I think we don't need to use that persist thing. Whoops, I don't need that. I need Godot. I might just modify this to work with like just grabbing everything we need from data. Because like really we need all of the player data. So we loop through the party. And then we also have to store player position. So let's think of that. Maybe I will make that data template again. We'll keep it simple. And remember, just just watch, and then we'll go over the code at the end when it's all good. I'm going to be making modifications, so don't worry about this right now. Data template. We're going to have. It's going to be party. Let me actually go back so I can see how I had it formatted before. Yeah, and then we had, so it had dictionaries. I'm going to do, we'll have some nested arrays. So I'm going to hold Control Shift Z to redo everything. Have party. That's going to be an array. And I don't have to put anything in there because we'll fill that in when we save it. What I'm making now is just the blank template. So we're going to need player position. Yeah, type it out like that. And that's going to be an array where we're going to have an X and a Y value. We'll let it be empty for now. And then we need current room. Let's put null. Maybe we want the name. Yeah, we want the name. So it'll be a string. And that's our data. What else do we need? We need time. So just do time. For play time. Time. Let's change it later. Time, I think we're storing as a string. And we need money and the inventory. So for the inventory, I'm just going to store the items. That's going to be an array. And we're going to need money. It's going to be an integer. I'm going to get rid of all persist nodes. Yeah, we're just going to get that manually. I'm not going to use that persist nodes method. So we have all of that. Index, change this to file index. It's going to be current. Let's put loaded data. I don't think we're using new game, but I'll take a look. So we got rid of persist. I'm going to delete any references to that. I also need to change index to file index. Get rid of this, and then there's probably going to be errors here. Data is not declared, so loaded data. And I probably want to do a search and replace on that. So we don't have persist nodes. So this is where we will get all, store all data here. Save file. I'm going to go ahead and want loaded data. Now this one I'm going to go individually because I want to make sure that I'm not replacing it anywhere it doesn't need to be. Let's put that in there. Fun, fun, fun. Add XP. Why is that? Why is that in this? So we can just get rid of that. I'm not using that method in here. Persist nodes, get rid of that. We're not using that. Should be good. Okay, and then good, good, good. So data template, we never modify this directly, and we can't anyway because it's a constant. What we do is when we create a new save file, we make a copy of that data template, and we make sure that it's a deep copy. Okay, if we look at array duplicate, deep, when we toggle that to true, what it does is causes any inner dictionaries in array to be copied recursively, they say. What that means, as far as I understand it, and what, in practical terms it means, is that if we have an array in there, it's going to make a copy of that as well. If we don't have deep copy toggled to true, which by default it's going to be false, then we're going to copy data template, yes, but any references, like these arrays, are going to be the same references. So we would be modifying the array within the template, whereas what we want to do is make a whole new array to work from. Store all data here. That's where we're going to handle all of these things. So it's going to be like loaded data, and we just go through all these. So I'm going to copy this so I know all the data that we need. And I'm just going to comment that out. That's strictly there so that I have it easily in view. Loaded data dot party. No. Data dot should I call it player? No, we'll do party. So party is going to be for I in range. Yeah. I'm thinking about. So when we grab these battle actors, we need to get all of their data. Everything. Every variable. Every single variable. Now I need to look that up. I think there's a way to do that. And so Godot get every variable in node. think that's what we want. We want to get this script. Let's go ahead and copy that. And so I think we'll probably just do that and save load. First off, we need data.party, that size. We'll pass for now. We're going to plop that in there. We're going to see if we can modify it. What's going on here? There we go. Does he have spaces? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So they were using spaces, or at least that's how I converted into this. You can't mix and match spaces and tabs. These need to go back on. What's the problem now? There we go. Just got a little mixed up there. I don't like those. We're going to clean that up. So let's walk through this. We get the script, which is not what we actually want to do there. We're going to call that on the player. So we get a reference to player. We call getScript on the player. And let's see, properties of resource path. For property info in this script, oh my god, they're using different naming convention here. I'm going to leave it for now until I'm sure that I need to use this. Let's look at that function. Get returns the list of properties. All right, so we can give that a shot for simulating us storing the player data. Is there anywhere? Let's return an array. Property name, property value. So in the party, we're going to have 4 dictionaries. And what I can use is we're going to have player data. Didn't want to do that. And down here, it's going to be player data property name equals property value. And then we're going to do data.party I equals player data. And this is going to be loaded data. So we're just converting all those properties into a format that we can then use in the dictionary. And we send that to party. Next, we need player position. This is going to be if globals.player, then loaded data.player position equals do that. I mean, we should always have a player present. So I might do print save load where is player. And what's next? I'm going to delete these as we go along. Drag this down. So we have current room, loaded data dot current room equals get tree dot current scene dot name. Loaded data dot time equals. Let's see. I think we get a reference to the clock in globals. I deleted that. So do clock null. Now in clock, we want to make sure we set that in here. And so that's going to be get formatted time. Do if globals dot clock. So time items is going to be loaded data dot items equals data dot player inventory dot get items. Oh, I have to parse that as well. So for that, we need to get, it's going to be, so we get the items, and the items are resources. So what we need to do is get their name and their quantity. I think everything else, I don't think we need anything else, rather. So let's do var items. It's going to be an array equals this. And then down here, what I need to do is, let's say like parsed items or items data. Right. For item in items data. In items, rather. We're going to do items data item dot name equals item dot quantity. So we're going to have a dictionary with all the item names and their quantities. And that's going to be items data after we go through all of that. All right, items done, and then money's real easy. That's just data dot player money. And so now we're saving all that data. Store loaded data. Yeah, I probably should do that individually. Like each of these should be on a separate line, but whatever. What I want to do is in the main game, we're going to make a, or no, let's get the save implemented in the field menu. So we can test it out in the way that it's actually going to be done. Save, enable it. Now we need to add the functionality for it. So if we go down to options button pressed, so we check if formation, elif index equals sub dot save. We're going to call, first off, save load needs to be an auto load, which I put in utility, right? So add that. Now we can do save load dot save game. What, it needs the index? Clear persist nodes, we're not using that, get rid of it. Save that. And let's see what happens. Have to update that. Okay. So we want to see that printout. We're not seeing anything. Let's see if we're getting to this at all. Interesting. Is my indexing wrong? Okay, so we're just not receiving that. Let's see, do these line up? Status formation, config save. How does that not work? Oh, we're just not receiving that at all. Did I break something in full screen GUI? When we call this, let's see what name is. That could be the issue. I'll do a reload. It looks like those are working right. Yeah, I'm not getting any menu inputs. Oh, we don't need that in there. Field menu. What I want to do then is we're going to test out a different field menu and see if that one works for the options. So something broke. I need to turn off those placeholder names. It's in here. Yeah. It's going to be true now. All right, menu on plus name override plus button focused. Menu. Let's just run the field menu. See what happens. It's almost that like the field menu, this stuff's not getting run. Options and players. Oh. No, I thought I knew, but no. What broke? It looks like it's not running on the top level field menu for some reason. I mean, we definitely run that. No, it's getting set. There's no reason this shouldn't be running. Let's see if we get it there. What the hell? Did I mess up my menu at some point? Just so we can figure out what's happening. So it has the buttons. Oh my gosh, I'm pressing the wrong input key. I forgot. I gotta fix that. I can't. It's throwing me off so much. Yeah, we gotta put enter back on here. Not enter. And then start. It's just gonna need a different key. Like page up. And then select. It's gonna be page down. Alright, now I'm not gonna be wasting my time there. And we can get rid of prints. Okay. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. We're gonna do make sure the party's clear, and then we can just use append. What was that? Was that showing me? Whoa. That's cool. That really sends everything, huh? Let's see if we can get this working. Ah. All right, that is progress. The problem is we're not getting the values. So let's see. I think I know why. We have to do player.get. There we go. So it's sending us all of the variables. That's really, really cool. We can comment out that stuff. Now, since I know it works, I want to replace these with my formatting. And I think I'm gonna credit them. Leon C. So we have all of the player data. Full screen data file path. Um, um, okay. So we have title screen and save load. They need to communicate. Let's look at this. We get player names. I don't think we're going to use that. Let's get rid of that. And like that whole function, we're not going to use. If I can get to it. I don't think I need that either. Don't need this. Don't need this stuff. This will be get player names, get rid of that. Don't need that one. That. I sure do love deleting code. So we're not even using slot size in here, but we will use it in the title screen. So we do save load dot load game, and we're going to need the index, and so it's going to be button dot get index. Now load game, let's look at that. What do we call this in load game? I think I'll put this at the top just because I want save game and let's do that. This should be after save game. Just do this down here. Create new save file, delete save file. That's nice having them together. We'll check that out later. Back to load game. So we check if the file exists. we return that. Otherwise, we return an empty dictionary. And so we're going to do var data dictionary equals that. And then if data else pass. So if data we want, if not data rather, let's do that one first. Don't need options, we don't need top right now. We just want to hide that. And we're going to do already var nodes to hide when no data. And it's just going to be an array. We'll see if this works. So I'm going to manually, we want to get that margin container. Oops, what's going on there? Let's do that. And then also, I think that margin container. Or we hide the H box, and we'll have a label in here. That's going to be no save data or empty. Well, put no save. Center that. Or yeah, we'll just put that for now. Call this new game. Instead of hiding that first margin container, we're going to hide the HBox container above it. And then we need a reference to new game. Not sure why it's not showing up in autocomplete. But regardless, we'll put it there. Am I missing something? Oh, that's why. So if no data, we want to show new game and hide it up here. If data, we're gonna for node in nodes. Do the inverse down there. And we also then need to populate that data. Now I think there might actually be a save file. So we're going to try running this. There is. Now we're not loading in the data, and I also need that clock not to run. It's going to need an export var. Make it true, and then we're going to disable it on here, and have get set running, and then that's going to look like, so first off, running equals value, sorry, let's do that, it's going to be on, and set process on. So that should fix that. Let's check our title screen again. It's not working because I guess running. I guess when you have an export bar, set doesn't get called. There we go. Now we will update all of these with our data, but you can see this works. Alright, it automatically assumes we don't have a file. Let's go and fix that. Save load, and title screen. Options button pressed. Let's do our let's look at load game. What we'll do is we'll always reset loaded data at the top. And we do that, we merge it with the data template. Yeah, so I'm doing that because then in title screen I can access. We don't need those. Down here we can say if save load dot loaded data as else. Go there. So now if I press enter on this, it should do nothing. Perfect. And then this will go to the character creation. So two main things we need to do. One is enter all data into the data displays. And down here be to game. That's the two main things we have to do with this. First, we'll get the data to display. I kind of want title screen to actually be changed to file select screen. So I'm going to take all of this and, or you know what? No, title screen, I'm going to duplicate it. File select screen. And let's get that open. First off, rename it. And we're going to copy that script, remove that, give it its own. It's going to inherit, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to override that. Now we don't need access to that. We can get rid of the character creation screen. And instead of that, we're going to emit a signal. File selected. So we can close that, or delete that rather. Game hide. Give this a signal. What did we call it? File selected. Now title screen is going to lose all of this. And we're going to now drag in file select screen. So that'll come before that. Now we need a reference to, we don't need the files. We don't need new game. Don't need that. Get rid of this and that. And no, we keep that. Now we use, also I want to make sure this doesn't have that signal connection. Hopefully it doesn't. We're going to connect file selected up to title screen. And let's see, to do parse data and enter game at current room and player location. Do update party and all other data variables. Yeah. No, we also don't need that in here. For now, set enabled on file select screen. We don't want that. Alright, so let's test that out. I did it backwards. Alright, nice. So I can actually, we can say print. Oh. What? How'd that go away? I thought I had that in there. Let's run it again. Guess it's not receiving that. Let's look at file select screen. Oh, I have that backwards. No, we can do that. And then the title screen, So we don't need the button there. Title screen will check if save load data. Else do character creation scene dot set enabled. True. So if I hit that, we're going to see that save load dot, oops, sorry, loaded data. So let's see, hello. That means we're receiving that. And now if I go to a empty, new game, right, we go to that. Perfect. So we know we're getting that. I can turn that off. Now we need to parse the data. And so I'm going to again copy this. Maybe data should handle that. Or the save load, I mean. That's all right. So let's look at that. See, if data, let's print data.party so I can take a look at exactly what that looks like. So it's okay. We're not setting most of these variables yet. So it comes out in dictionary format, so it's key value. I'm going to take like 30 seconds to stretch and get a drink. I'll be right back. Hey, Mama. You doing all right? Okay, now this is going to be maybe a little tricky, maybe not. I think we just do the inverse of this. I think we're going to make some helper functions. So it's going to be parse party data. No. What's the opposite of parse? Opposite of parse. Unparse? Okay. So we'll have function. Wait. Is parsing when we convert it? Let's get the right syntax here. right? So we're unparsing. And that's going to be really, we could do that at the bottom because these are all in one line pretty much. But I should modify that. So for now, we're just going to have this. It's going to be unparse. And I think we'll return that dictionary. I don't care about that right now. It needs to be party data. And we're going to have parse party data. Which will look, I think, like for I in range. Loaded data. Like I'll do for player and do that. Let's print player data. And we go back to save load. I'm just going to test that out, or rather the title screen. We're going to do save load dot parse save our data. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I did it 4 times for each party member. You can see we have each one unique. And so with that, I think I just have to make new battle actors with that data and put them up into the data singleton. So what we're going to do is let's look at data real quick. I think we can probably we're going to make a new battle actor. It's going to be our then we have to call player.init player. Or no, let's do parse data and just send in player data. I'm going to make that in battle actor. Do data dictionary and so first we do init player and then we have to go through. Well, I can put some of them in there. So we have name, job, character, index. We're going to have to send through index as well. It's going to be data.name, data.job, data.character index, and then index. Go to update, save load. to have, I'm in the wrong thing. I should do need I in range, little data.party size. Do for player data yeah, player data, it's going to be a dictionary equals loaded data.party I. And do that because we need that index. That way the player knows where in data.party they go. And now I have to go through all the other data. And it's all alphabetical, so that makes it kind of easy. And I feel like we don't have to. Bear with me. I need more coffee. Now so we wanted to do the inverse of this, right? Let's just copy that for now and see if we can modify it. Script. And so we get the property list. And the property value is, we're just going to swap that out. And that's going to be data.get property name. And then we just do, wait. So player data. How do I send that to the player? Oh, it should just be set. Yeah. So we do that. Get a init player real quick. Oh, you know what? We don't. I don't think we do want to call that. I do see one problem. We have texture. That's going to need. We're going to have to set that manually. Like we're going to have to store the texture name, because then when we unparse this data, we can't store the file reference, because that changes at runtime. That should parse our data. And here. And then let's go back to the title screen and look at this. So we do that. Don't even need all that. Yeah, we can do that. So it's going to be data.player money equals data.money. Block. You have to figure out how to parse the time. Maybe we save total seconds and it's time in seconds, and then we can override that. So go back to save load. You're now going to need time in seconds. It's going to be a float. And actually, we want it to be an int. So we'll have that. Now in here, it's going to be globals.clock. Data dot time in seconds equals data dot time. We're gonna have to store that in data. That under like money or we want to do something like get tree dot change scene. Why can't that? Why do we lose the autocomplete? Do this? Yeah. And the clock. If data.total. That's not equal to 0, then we want to do time equals data dot or time. I think that'll work. It's an integer, but I mean, we could float it just to be specific. Alright, init player string. Oh, let me check out data real quick, or save load. And I forgot that I have a helper function. And we can use that here. It's going to be, I think, util.convert. It's probably a math. Convert vec to let's go take a look. My one is on util. So it's vec2 key to vec2. Alright, so we're going to use those. First in save load. When we save the game. It's going to be util.vec to key. And then we do the opposite in the battle actor. Vec2 key to vec2. Oops, went too far out. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Let's try this. Alright, so we're going to save at 20 seconds. I'm going to quit the game. And when we load, remember, we're not updating this yet, but when I open that game, okay, we're not updating the time properly. Did I not set that in save load yet? I don't think I did. We actually don't want that. We want time in seconds. It's going to be equals clock dot time. I do. I think that's what works for that. Total seconds. Okay. So load the game. Let's let the clock run a bit. I'll maybe go to 10 seconds. Or screw it, we'll do 10. That's alright. Do 10, we save, we quit. We're going to run title screen again. Hey, it worked. Alright, so I think all this other stuff is updating. I'll actually show you how we can modify these files through the File Explorer, but maybe we'll do that one later. Obviously, we need to update the character art for the classes. Let's see. Let us see. I'm gonna not give them default equipment. Inventories. Um. Title screen should be at the bottom. So let's try and make a new file in, like, by actually making the characters. So we press start. We create the party. And then I think we want to call like save load dot save game. don't think we need that. So we save the game, we supply the index. When we load it, we supply an index. And here, this will be... No, I take that back. We're going to use file index because we want to set the index from the title screen based on which file we're in. So title screen, file select screen rather. We can send it up here. And do save load dot index. And I think I will make the title screen the main scene. I'll define it down here. So these are all default. I will just hit start, and it broke. Not setting the file index here. Loaded data party. So why is that not called? We should have loaded data. All right, because we load it there. Okay, it worked that time. Well, the problem, I guess, was was when we tried to save that. Let's take a look. We saved the game. Unparse. Let's do. Might as well do that. Try and make a new file again. Button focus on base nil. So character creation screen. So file select screen. Are you queuing free or something? Base nil. Oh. You can see we have the file. We're just not loading that data, but it did make the file. I'll show you again. And where's player? Where are we printing that? Why'd that get called 4 times? I'm gonna guess in character creation we're calling save game 4 times. Yeah. Yep, that was on me. Gotta call it down here, outside of that loop. And like I said, I'm gonna go through all this code once I'm finished here. Title screen. This. We don't have any way to delete a file yet. Let's see. Looks like we didn't init magic when we parse the data. So we'll do this. If magic.empty for equipment init equipment magic. Okay. So that should fix that. Yeah. So the other thing we have to call when we make these new characters is we have to actually roll their stats. So I quit, we can run. Yeah. All right, cool. I'm gonna take a break. Again, don't worry about this code yet. Just kind of follow along. Whenever I finish the file loading and setting all the data, that's when I'll go through the code, and that'll be a good time to copy the code down. But for now, yeah, just take it easy. Try and absorb the information, or if you want to cheat, you can just skip to the next, whichever video when I go through everything. But you probably won't learn as well. Up to you. The choice is yours, as my principal used to always say. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be back in a little bit. See ya.